Okay, great clips. You asked for a video on how to do a haircut. This isn't a bald fade. This isn't a tape up. What it is a variation on a faux hawk or a fox hawk, or however you call it. What he wants to do is leave the front a little bit longer than the back, and we're just going to be spiking up the front more so than the back, but it's going to just slightly grow in that way. Here he wants a 3 on the side, so he wants to take it fairly short, and we're going to taper up this area a little bit over the ears and a little bit at the nape, because those seem to be the problem areas when it grows back and whatnot. So we're going to start off. I get a number 3 guard. I brush up my clippers here, you know. Brush it up. Spray a little bit of Cool Glue. I get my 3, and I'm going to start back here. I'm just going to go straight up just like that. An important thing to remember is don't do this. Do not round it up. Square it up. You see how I'm using this as the base and it's keeping it square. I'm going straight up off the head. I'm rocking it straight up. So just follow that motion. Do not try to go with the rounding of the head unless I tell you to. Now, so we're just going to go straight up quick as possible, okay? And so we're just going to focus down here. Remember to go with the direct or against the direction of the hair growth. See how the hair is growing this way? Don't do this. Go like this. I follow whichever way. So here the hair is growing this way. I don't do this. I'm going to come in and do this. See how that works? And again, I'm not going with the rounds of the head. I am just simply, you know, just squaring it off, sort of. It gives it a more masculine look. I mean, you could round it off, but I feel it gives it a more masculine look when you don't. So just follow my lead here. Okay. So now we're gonna do the other side. Remember to get over the ears too. Do get it as perfect as you can, but it doesn't have to be exactly perfect now, and I'll show you why in a minute. So come here again, go with the grain of the hair. So just like that, straight up off, just like that. This is pretty awesome. So now I told you we were going to have tapering, and I'm going to show you how we do that in a minute. I'm going to take off my 3 guard. I'm loading up the 2. I open up my 2. I open it like this. Open it up. I'm using the tip of the ear, and I'm creating an imaginary line in my head that looks kind of like this. So let's rotate it. It looks like this tip of the ear to about right here in the corners. And I'm going to come in with that open 2 and go right up to that tip of the ear and rock my hand off. I'm creating a guide. So now I close it. And now I'm just blending it in, making sure that it gets nice and tapered, because you know when it grows back, and I open it again. But right here over the ears just a little bit, because that part, you know, touches the ear. That's part that grows out most when they are, you know. Again, this is just an open 1.5, so it's just like a shorter 2, and you just take it up a little bit. Just taper that in. A lot of these details your clients will notice. I know they don't say it, but clients are smarter than we may imagine. They really do know about hair in this day and age, and they are gonna, you know, be looking at your work when they go home. And it's important that you put in these minor details, because these minor details is what's going to have them coming back along with your customer service. But it's good that we have a great haircut, good skills in our trade, and you know. So again, just coming in here, just tapering it, just nicely taper. Do not create another line. Do not go ridiculously shorter. Don't go from a 3 to a 1. you know, because what's going to happen is you're going to create a line, and that's not efficient at all. Okay, so now we're going to just go over right here this little, so now use the blow dryer. Make sure throughout the haircut that you are brushing off the hair from your client for client comfort, and make sure the neck strips are properly done. I don't want to, you know, you're doing a haircut, the client has hair all up in their face. That's not a good look. So grab your comb, grab your water bottle, comb and spray at the same time. So we're just going to come in. I go from side to side, front to back. I like doing it side to side. I know a lot of people do it front to back. I find that it doesn't put water in my client's face, you know, when I'm doing this, and I tend to get it fairly wet because I want to evenly distribute the moisture. So it's important that we do that. Now here's where I differ from a lot of stylists. You could do it my way, you could not do it my way. I'm just going to show you my variations. I'm going to brush everything this way, and I start from the bottom up. I don't start from here down. So what I'm going to do to blend this in is do this. So I'm finding my guide here, and I'm just going straight up off the head again. I'm not curving. I understand I'm not meeting a guide here. I am creating an imaginary guide that I'm meeting, essentially. So here you're seeing me. I'm not rounding it. I'm going straight up off the head, and my comb is straight up. Straight up. And I find that for whatever reason or another, starting it this way gives me a better blend. And you'll see that when I dry this up a little bit. So I'm going to do this all around the back. The back, it's growing this way. So I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go with the grain, scoop it out. And here I go. Just like that. Scooping it out. Just going around town. All right? That's very simple. Now I see that the shift is shifted in the pattern of the hair. So I come in just right here. Bam. Come over here. Bam. Knock that out. Meeting this guide right here. Meeting this guide at the bottom. There's my guide. One more time. And now I'm going to come over here. One more time, I'm going to show you this. Comb the hair over. Comb it over. Here I go. And I scoop the hair. There's my guide. And I'm just going to snip, snip, snip. Come up again. Snip, snip, snip. I know that usually speaking, they start from the top. Or they'll start from the sides and then they'll go to the top and then they'll like blend it in midway. I just found this through trial and error. You could have your own way. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I'm just showing you my way. And it's pretty efficient. Now, I spoke with the client during the consultation. He says, you know, he would like maybe an inch taken off. Not too much, not too little. He still wants to keep some good length on there. So what we're going to do is just take about an inch off right there. And we're just going to take that. Now, when he told me that he wants the back to be a little bit shorter than the front, what I'm going to do, instead of coming like this at an angle, I'm going to come straight across. And what that's going to do, because his head naturally elevates like that, that's going to create this hair shorter than in the front. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So we're just going to go straight back. Just like a mohawk, kind of, until we, get in there. Just like that. Comb it forward. And I'm going to come in the back. I'm going to lower his chair down if I have to. Start in the front. And I'm just going to go straight across. Roll it back. Keep your fingers on the hair. Get the comb. Roll it back half an inch. Cut again. Grab it. Roll it back half an inch. Cut again. I'm meeting this guide right here. Roll it back half an inch. Cut again. If you let go of this hair, you're being inconsistent. And now I'm going to show you something. By the way, Great Clips, I'm going to show you something that I the members of our salon, we do it. And of course, that's not to say that, that anyone else's technique is deficient in any way. But I do want to show you a technique that I've seen is lacking from a couple of stylists' repertoire. And that is, whenever you cut this way, you're cutting cut. make sure to go over where the iris is, right here in the eye, and just get the hair, bring it up, and remember to, it's kind of like cross-checking. Remember, whatever you do this way, you got to go this way. And that's what I do, because sometimes you're going to have these little lines in your hair when you dry them up, and that eliminates that issue. And you'll find that if you do that, and if you are also not, don't do this. Don't cut and then go back like 2 inches and do another cut. You got to go back slowly but surely, and over time you'll get your speed. But yeah, I don't see a lot of stylists cross-checking the top. They cross-check the sides a lot in their haircuts. You know, and I just feel that that's something that'll really help you out. It's really helped me out. I remember when I really got that technique down pat. It took me to another level. So hopefully you're being taken to another level. You're learning something from me, and that's why I'm making these videos, you know. So I'm gonna come. I know a lot of people. I mean, it's just weird for me. I like coming from over here, finding my guide, coming this way, finding my 2 guides, guide, and I just like that, just like this. And I'm gonna show you something cool that I do. I come in right here in the front. I'll take this little edge off. I'll comb everything forward. And now what's going to happen is, here's my guide, any little tiny work that I need to do gets taken off. And I mean, I'm doing it fast, but essentially my mind is I'm meeting 2 guides and I'm just seeing, I develop a speed for that. And I'm doing the same here. I've done my cut, you know. Here I see a little bit of length. Come in. You know, your style may be different. You know, mine probably certainly isn't perfect, but you know, the intention is just to give you an idea and help you out along your progress. And the good news is we're progressing every day. I don't think there is a perfect haircut. I think every haircut could always need improving, and we always get better in this profession, so you just always keep learning. Again, I'm going to go and I'm going to show you what I meant. I'm going to come over here over his iris, really get that hair up, and I want you to see what I'm seeing. Here's a little bit of jaggedness here. I want it perfectly smooth, because what ends up happening is, all right, it looks really nice when they leave the salon. But, you know, when he goes home, he takes a shower, dries it up, he says, hey, what's going on here? And we want to avoid that. So whatever you do, you just go horizontally. You could actually just do this. You could go horizontally throughout the haircut. What you did going this way, you could go in going horizontally. There's no you know, issue in it. That will achieve the same. Remember to tell your client, because some clients get spooked. They say, oh, he's going too short, or he's cutting more off. You just tell them, look, I'm not cutting more off. I am just cross-checking. We're just evening out everything. So now what I do, I like to always have my hair dry when I'm going to do any sort of taping techniques. Well, what I'm going to do before I do dry that is I'm going to ask the client, now I'm going to clean him up, brush him up again. Because again, we said, you know, if we leave the hair on for too long, you know, the client gets uncomfortable and whatnot. And I'm just going to hand the mirror to the client and also hold the mirror. So what I first do is I take it to the back and I show them the back. I tell the client what he addressed to me during the consultation. He says he wanted the back short so it doesn't spike up. And so we got the back fairly short. We kind of faded and blended it up and tapered it up to the front, which we kept longer. And once it dries, you'll see the full product. But now I hand it in his hand, so you just hold on to this mirror for me. Hold on to that. Make sure there's a good length. If you feel I should cut more off, and when we dry it up, it's going to look, you know, slightly different. We're going to put a little bit of product in it. What do you think about this haircut right now?
Oh, looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good. Okay, so we're going to go from there, and we're going to put this down like such. Dry up his hair. Since I already know what we're going to be doing, I'm going to come up like that. I'm shaping it to how I want it. You know? So now what I do is I'm going to get my comb and I'm just going to come in and comb everything this way with the way the hair goes. Now, this is what I want you guys to see. What I go is I find the baldest areas. What's the baldest area I see? Here's a bald area. So what I want to do is create from here my guide. I just created my guide because what we as hairstylists want to do is create the illusion, at least, of perfection. We want to create perfection, but if we can't do that, we're going to create the illusion of perfection in a perfect hairline. So what I did was I found the baldest area here. I then brought that up like such here. I'm playing connect the dots. I found the baldest area here. I create my guide here, and what I do is I just, in an arch, this is going to take practice. I just connect them just like that. Ever so, you gotta be, an artist. It's your work. Everyone is gonna be, everyone's work is gonna be different. The point is, I want you to be happy and your clients to be happy. Comb around here. Get right over to you, just like that. Don't bring it too high up unless they ask for it to be high up. Just remember not to bring it too high up. Now what I do, I do kind of go halfway. I go halfway up the ear. What I want to do now is comb everything this way. I'm going to find the baldest spot again. The baldest spot is right around here. And there's my guide. So now, here I am with my guide. And I'm going to meet this guide all the way to the top right here. So let's do this. And I know, I could probably breeze through this haircut a little bit faster, but I really want you guys to take a look at this and just absorb it. I know it's not the haircuts we discussed, but I think that I'm just going to be posting haircuts here periodically, and I think that any education is good education, and even if you know how to do this haircut and you got it down packed, just learning it a different, fresh way from another stylist may give you and open up your horizons as well. So let's go down just like that. So now you see the sides. Focus it. I mean, sometimes I like to aim the client at the mirror to see that all the lines are straight, but I know that all the lines are straight simply just from experience. So I'm going to come to the back and I put his head down. Again, what I find here, some people want to leave it natural. We spoke in the consultation that he wants it squared. So just right around here, I find that bald area right there. And what I'm going to do is just like that. By the way, this that I'm doing back here is pretty much the same technique you would use in the front. So if anyone ever asks you for a tape of the front hairline or a shape up or an outline of the front hairline, this is essentially what I would do. I would find the baldest area of that front hairline, using common sense and whatnot. Find the baldest area. If it's too far back, don't do that. And I would just create my straight line. And what's really good, I'm glad I'm on camera because the camera also shows any mistakes. So any mistakes that I make, if there's a line in the haircut, if there's anything, not only will the mirror tell you, the camera will tell you too. So it's important, make sure that I'm doing this right for you guys. And I really appreciate, by the way, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me, all the comments and everything. That makes me feel better about what I'm doing, and it makes it all worthwhile. So again, we're gonna come here. I create a little. One thing I like doing, I put my finger here, right to where my nail is, right on the bottom, and I'll get behind the client, and inconspicuously. I mean, obviously it's not inconspicuously now. I just get from behind and I look at that mirror and I make sure that both my fingers, because I got a finger here and a finger on the other side, I make sure that they both look even.